Bumbabees, and welcome back to the Bumba.cast. That's right, it's me, your girl, Teresa Bumbaco, here on today's 44th episode of the Pop Cultured News. I hope everyone's doing well out there. I'm doing as well as I can, and so is Snoop. Snoop, probably going to sound like Snoob. Snoop sound. Snoop just got his ultrasound and echocardiogram results back, and good news, but also not great news. There's no mass that's making his murmur worse or anything like that. Here he comes, tip-tapping on over. You do it at the beginning of every episode when I start getting into the swing of it, don't you? Don't you? You do. But we got the results of his echocardiogram back. He does have left and right side failure. It's nothing I could have done. I asked the vet, I was like, what causes this? And she's like, nothing that, other than just old age. He's almost 14 years old. That in and of itself, you should be proud of, that you kept a dog around that long. It's not common that a dog lives that long. Yes, I will grab you in a second. But currently no fluid in his heart, lungs, or anywhere in his chest cavity. So his medication's working really well. So that's great. Also, vet said that he could potentially be a candidate for open heart surgery, but I'd have to go get a cardiothoracic consult with that type of surgeon. If I wanted to explore something like that. Sorry, I lost my train of thought, but yeah, no. Something like that, those surgeries can go upwards of like $60,000 or more. And like, surgery is so complicated in and of itself that like, what if he goes through it and he survives and then he throws a clot and he dies? I mean, even if I could come up with the money, he's almost 14. He's doing well on medication right now. He's okay. He's happy. I'm going to grab him right now because he's going to keep crying. Okay, we're back. He's on my lap and he's already lying down, so he's tired. I have to get up fucking 10 minutes to give him his blood pressure medication. God damn it, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Okay, anyway, so that's where we're at with Snoop's care. Basically, his vet was like, at this point, we're just keeping him comfortable, doing what we can. Medication levels and dosages may need to be adjusted in the future. But as of right now, he's responding well to what he's on. The cardiologist that read his echocardiogram report and results, that sent the results over to my veterinarian, said that what he's on is good, not to change anything. They sent me a list of foods that I might want to explore switching him to, just kind of keep him away from sodium and stuff like that. And, it's not a problem anyway. And that, basically, even the little minimal exercise that he does where he's parkouring around or going up and down his ramp really fast or something like that, that's okay. As long as he's not going really crazy, running and doing extremely strenuous exercise, which is not something he's ever done anyway. I think my dogs have really little legs. I don't think they need to be running around like that. Never thought that. So maybe that's why they live this long. But yeah, so he's chilling right now and we're just chilling together. So, I don't know what the next couple weeks are going to hold with what's going on with my trip to Vegas. I may or may not go. I'm not sure. I might have to just eat the money because I think they shipped my pass already. I don't know. It might be a situation where in the last week or two, I'm like, oh, I can go. And I just book a flight and book a hotel last minute. I don't know. So we'll see. But I might have to just not go. It really depends because money is just really tight and Snoop's care is going to be getting really pricey, with vet visits pretty often and the kind of vet visits he's going to be needing. And his medication is really expensive and, priorities, certain, that one day I will look back and I won't think to myself, man, I'm really upset that I was home with Snoop during that time. I am not, that's not going to happen. So, before I keep going off about things and whatnot or whatever, because I've already gone 5 minutes into this about Snoop already. But let's kick right off into the 44th episode of the Pop Culture News, shall we? Okay, first up on the docket, Snoop wanted to let you guys know we have some sad news. Snoop, you want to tell the people? You want to tell them? I think he's being shy. He wants me to tell them. So, my little Bumbabees, unfortunately, we have lost a Hollywood legend. Robert Redford has passed away at age 89. So, bow your heads for a quick moment of silence. That was fucking weird. That was fucking weird. That was fucking weird because that's Snoop's pill alarm too, and I purposely have it set to 444. I didn't plan that. I didn't plan that at all. This podcast is totally ad-libbed. Everything you get from me is completely unscripted. The only thing that's scripted are these news articles that I read from. Other than that, I'm just fucking out here riffing, as the kids say. So let me get Snoop his pill, and then we will get into Robert Redford. Okay, so Robert Redford, now that Snoop's gotten his pill and he's like all fucked up now, he thinks it's like time for other things, more pill pockets, more stimulation. I don't know what he thinks. He just got settled. He's fine. He's going to start licking his leg and hopefully he'll settle. Oh, no, he's not. He's looking at me. Anyway, so Robert Redford. If you are not familiar with Robert Redford, get fucking educated. Robert Redford, obviously known for Hollywood fame and stardom from classic films such as Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, along with All the President's Men. He's also known as the founder behind the organization for the Sundance Film Festival, the Sundance, Film Institute. Cindy Berger, his publicist, said he died at his home in the mountains of Utah, the place he loved, surrounded by those he loved. He will be greatly missed. The family requests privacy at this time. So if you don't really know about Robert Redford, but just to briefly go over, he's best known as being a go-to leading man from the 60s and 70s. And, he was just that guy. I mean, he had a great relationship with Paul Newman over the years, and Paul Newman is also known to be like a great man. So these two were just Hollywood legends, political activists, just humanitarians, really, along with being film icons. So a little bit of backstory about Robert Redford. Along with him being obviously the go-to leading man of the 60s and 70s, this article from NBC News notes that Redford was an accomplished filmmaker, committed political activist, and culture-shaping entrepreneur. He won the Best Director Oscar for the family melodrama Ordinary People in 1980, the first of 9 stints behind the camera. He obviously will live on through the Sundance Institute, a nonprofit organization he founded in 1981 that sponsors the Sundance Film Festival. Obviously, this festival is usually held in Park City, Utah, but I think it's actually being held in somewhere else now. So Lisa Barlow is probably having a fit somewhere. That's a Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reference. If you get it, if you know, you know. In a 2018 interview, Robert Redford is quoted saying, "I saw other stories out there that weren't having a chance to be told, and I thought, well, maybe I can commit my energies to giving those people a chance. As I look back on it, I feel very good about that." In a career that stretched more than 6 decades, Redford won 2 Academy Awards, including an honorary prize in 2002, and 3 Golden Globe Awards, including the Cecil B. DeMille Award for the Lifetime Achievement Honor in 1994. Obama said in remarks at the White House that Americans admire Bob not just for his remarkable acting, but for having figured out what to do next. Redford's most high-profile theatrical performance from the period was opposite Elizabeth Ashley in the original Broadway run of Neil Simon's Barefoot in the Park in 1963. It catapulted Redford's career to be in supporting roles in other movies such as comedy Situation Hopeless But Not Serious in 1965, and, as I previously mentioned on this podcast for Hollywood True Crime's Natalie Wood, the 1965 film Inside Daisy Clover, starring opposite Natalie Wood. So Inside Daisy Clover actually gave Robert Redford his first Golden Globe for Best New Star. Redford reached a career turning point in 1969 with director George Roy Hill's Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and it just, went on from there. Robert Redford continued to be, just a big name in the industry and in Hollywood. There are a lot of roles of Robert Redford's that I personally hold in my heart and, think of when I think of Robert Redford. And two of those roles are Death in the Twilight Zone in an episode, which is actually one of his really early roles before anyone even knew who he was, and The Great Gatsby. He was OG Jay Gatsby. And you can watch the remake with Leo, and it's not the same. It's not the same. It's just not the same. Leo did well, but Robert Redford as Jay Gatsby, at the end, it hurts different. It hurts a lot different. But obviously, Robert Redford basically acted his entire life up until 2018. His last role he did was the old man in The Gun, and he played a gentlemanly bank robber. Interesting. So he was playing a bank robber in his 80s. He said in the Associated Press article in 2018, "I just figure that I've had a long career that I'm very pleased with. It's been so long, ever since I was 21. I figure now, as I'm getting into my 80s, it's maybe time to move toward retirement and spend more time with my wife and family." Robert Redford is survived by his wife, Sybil Saggers. Help, and two children from a previous marriage to Lola Van Wagenen. God, I'm getting my ass kicked today. Shauna Jean Redford and Amy Hart Redford. Redford and his first wife had lost two sons, Scott Anthony Redford, born in 1959, who died suddenly of sudden infant death syndrome, and David James Redford, who died of cancer in 2020. Jesus Christ. Could you imagine losing two children in your lifetime? You think okay, I've lost one as an infant. I think I'm good. Probably won't lose another one. I've had it. I've got it. Loses another. Help. That's awful. It's terrible. Terrible news. But just a few movies that the Hollywood Reporter ended up listing as Redford's top 17 films, if you want to go check them out. Tall Story, Barefoot in the Park, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Downhill Racer, Jeremiah Johnson, The Candidate, The Way We Were, The Sting, The Great Gatsby, 3 Days of the Condor, All the President's Men, Ordinary People, The Natural, Out of Africa, Indecent Proposal, Captain America Winter Soldier, The Old Man and the Gun, final film. So, rest in peace, Robert Redford. Rest in peace. And with that, I bid you this clip.
I didn't see you. No.
Look in the mirror, Wanda.
You tricked me. It was you all the time.
Yes. I tricked you.
But why? The moment I let you inside, you could have taken me any time. But you were nice. You made me trust you.
But I had to make you understand. Am I really so bad? Am I really so frightening? You've talked to me? You've confided in me? Have I tried to hurt you? It isn't me you're afraid of. You understand me. What you're afraid of is the unknown. Don't be afraid.
But I am afraid.
The running's over. It's time to rest. Give me your hand.
But I don't want to die.
Trust me.
No. No.
Mother. Give me your hand. You see? No shock. No engulfment. No tearing asunder. What you feared would come like an explosion is like a whisper. What you thought was the end, the beginning.
When will it happen? When will we go?
Go. Look. We have already begun.
There was an old woman who lived in a room, and like all of us was frightened of the dark, but who discovered in a minute last fragment of her life that there was nothing in the dark that wasn't there when the lights were on. Object lesson for the more frightened amongst us, in or out of the Twilight Zone.
No, I just love you so much. Do you notice? Oh, look at him. Isn't he the most perfect little baby you've ever seen in your life? Okay.
Okay, so next up on the docket, now that hopefully Snoop is fucking settled, I don't know. So let's see here. So next up on the docket, we're going to be talking about Priscilla Presley. So Priscilla Presley, I know I talked about her a couple episodes ago because there were some things going on in the court system. She's getting sued by some former business associates that are claiming that Priscilla allegedly pulled the plug on Lisa Marie on purpose just so Priscilla could now regain control of the Presley estate again, and whatnot. So I told you guys, anytime I get, every time I see an article or something like that, or I see something or like an update or whatever's going on, like I'm always gonna give you the update. I can't get my shit together today. Help! My ring light is falling. What? Are you fucking serious right now? Like, what is happening? Who's got the fucking voodoo doll? I'm literally fighting for my life trying to record this podcast today. Like, you have no idea. It's like 5:00 in the afternoon. I'm trying to record this. I'm going to have it out for you guys tomorrow. I'm going to be up until like 4:00 in the morning editing this shit. Snoop's looking at me like, anyway, let's get into this because I'm going to have to fucking already edit the fuck out of this and clip it to hell. And whatever the fuck. So, here we go. What we're going to be talking about next is Priscilla Presley. So, like I said, I told you guys that if I have any updates, I will give you an update. So, when I talked about Priscilla Presley and this lawsuit and whatever a few weeks ago or month ago, whenever it was that the episode came out, it was a couple episodes ago, I have some updates regarding these things. So, first up, Priscilla is coming out with a new book. I guess this is her second book. I guess she can't write enough about how life is, Elvis's ex-wife. I mean, she can't write enough. She can't shut the fuck up about it. It's like kind of getting a little annoying at this point, So anyway, whatever. I mean, I guess if I had been married to Elvis, I guess I'd be fucking milking it for every dollar it was worth too. Why not? So she sat down recently in an interview to kind of, do her little press tour, promote the book and everything like that. And there's some things that she's been talking about in interviews that I'm like, okay, mama knows how to work the PR machine because what?
What?
First up, Priscilla is telling everybody, just so you know, Elvis isn't alive. Well, no shit, bitch. Even if Elvis was still alive before this and like that had been a conspiracy that he had actually died or whatever, even if he was really alive, at this point he wouldn't be alive anymore. Hello. He would have died. He's been dead. So that, you should have come out with this like 20 years ago. So, I mean, like that's no big deal. So even you're not satisfying any conspiracy theorists with that. Even the conspiracy theorists are like, Elvis is now dead. But just so you know, he's dead. So that's definitely something she's covered on this book tour. But also something that was very interesting to me that she covered on this book tour that I was like, oh, the Bumbabees need to know this one. So did you know that Priscilla Presley dated Robert Kardashian Sr.? Weird, right? So listen to this. So this is an article from the New York Post. I didn't see it anywhere else, whatever. Some outlets pick up on certain things and some don't. Some outlets favor the Kardashians and others don't give a fuck. They just like want drama and clicks. So we love you, New York Post. We love you for that, I guess sometimes, because the New York Post will post crazy shit that's so insensitive and like fucked up and pointed or whatever, but then they'll but it's got like there's like sources behind it, and it's just like their complete bias of like whoever owns the Post or is writing the article. Anyway, so in this article from the New York Post, it's saying that Priscilla Presley claimed her ex Elvis tried to interfere in her relationship with Robert Kardashian. In her second book, Softly As I Leave You, Life After Elvis, Priscilla, who's 80 years old.
What?
I did not know she was 80. I mean, honest to God, like, I still think it's fucking 1999. I mean, honestly. So she opened up about her romantic life after divorcing Elvis, and she states that when she started dating Kardashian in 1975, it was following her split with Elvis. And even though Elvis and her had been divorced, she shared that Elvis still called her in the middle of the night, once dialing her digits at 2 a.m., completely unaware that Kardashian was sleeping next to her. He'd have gone ballistic, maybe literally, if he'd known Robert was in my bedroom. Elvis always carried a loaded gun, sometimes more than one. All right. And then it goes on to say the Naked Gun star. Was she in the original? Or is she in the remake? No, she wasn't in the remake recently, was she? Why would you? I don't know. I would have heard about that. So she must be the original Naked Gun star. She shared that Elvis never discovered. What the fuck do I know? I'm gonna have to look this up. I don't know anything about Priscilla Presley's acting career. It says Priscilla, actress, 80. I didn't know fucking Priscilla was an actress. What the fuck do I know about Priscilla? Didn't even cover that in the movie Priscilla. So blame Sophia Ford Coppola for that shit that I don't know about. The Naked Gun star shared that Elvis never discovered her relationship with Kardashian, and the lawyer didn't know the Suspicious Minds singer called while he was sound asleep. Priscilla and Kardashian only dated for about a year, and she explained why it wouldn't have worked out between them. Robert was a sweet man, and I liked him. However, his demanding job as a lawyer included long hours that didn't work for her. I don't know. I feel like Elvis's schedule would probably been way crazier than Robert Kardashian's, but I take rest. That's an excuse. So she also shared that he was hungry for marriage and she wasn't in the same place following her failed union with Elvis. After their 1976 breakup, Priscilla and Kardashian stayed friendly, but he went on to then marry, obviously, who we know as Kris Jenner, now 69, in 1979 or 78. Yikes. Robert and I had one last conversation before he died. He was the kindest of men, and I remember him with great affection. Maybe she says in her book, like, what he fucking said, but doesn't say here what he said. Like, Robert sent me one more final message before he died. Well, tell me what the fuck the message was, bitch. I need to know. So, whatever. Last thing I wanted to talk about is the lawsuit. So Priscilla does talk about the lawsuit in an interview that she sat down with, and this is a People magazine exclusive. Priscilla is on record quoted saying, Riley and I have never had a problem. I just have one battle, and that's with a certain person. Now she's referencing Riley Coe, her granddaughter, who is Lisa Marie Presley's daughter. So obviously, even though Priscilla didn't get Pacific, verifying who the certain person was that she has a battle with, obviously she's probably referencing the former business partners Bridget Cruz and another former business partner Kevin Fialco. Obviously, I've talked about them on the podcast after suing the star for $50 million for alleging fraud and breach of contract and also elder abuse against her and, Priscilla's actually suing them for alleging financial elder abuse against her and the theft of $1 million. So I guess she countersued in their lawsuit. Like I said, they're trying to go after Priscilla, claiming that she pulled the plug on Lisa Marie, and Lisa Marie died at fault of Priscilla pulling the plug. The lawsuit also alleges tension between Priscilla and Riley following Lisa Marie's death, which the two slammed in a joint statement on September 5th as untrue and deeply hurtful. We're very close, Priscilla says. We support each other. Priscilla says she's found great joy in her role as great-grandma to Riley and her husband, Ben Smith Peterson's two daughters, daughter Tupelo, 3, and another child. The People confirms the couple welcomed earlier this year, unknown name. I love her baby, she says. I'm really happy for Riley. She's got an amazing husband and 2 great children, so I'm very happy for her. So I'm happy for her very much. That's what makes me happy, knowing everyone is doing well. I feel I'm living a good life. So if you want to check out Priscilla's book, it's going to be coming out on September 23rd, so the day after this podcast comes out. So you can pre-order it if you would like, or you can just wait until it comes out tomorrow. Whatever you want to do. Priscilla gonna make that money. Okay, next up on the docket, I wanted to briefly talk about this thing going on with Keke Palmer and Sean Evans. So Keke Palmer, as we know, young, what do you say? Jane of all trades. She literally does it all. She can sing, she can dance, she can act, she can improv, she can do glam, probably. I mean, she can do it all. She's been around for a very long time. She's one of those child stars that never got in the mess of things as other child stars did, and she's managed to keep all her money. So we love a queen. So Keke recently was on an episode of the chicken wing hot sauce show, Hot Wings, or Hot Ones, sorry. I'm dumb. So Hot Ones with Sean Evans. Sean Evans is the host of this show. And I guess Sean Evans has had a crush on Keke Palmer for quite some time now. And this is something that's now gone viral on the internet because Sean Evans had sat down on a chicken shop date interview with Amelia de Moldenberg, or whatever her name is. And when they sat down, Amelia had asked Sean about if he had ever had a crush on one of his guest hosts or guests on the I keep wanting to say Hot Wings show, the Hot Ones show. And Sean is like full on, like he already knew. He had that answer ready to go. He's like, Keke Palmer. And then Keke Palmer a few years later, whenever this interview was, we'll go over it in this article, gets on the Hot Ones again, and she's like, hey, I'll see you there. So this article from Billboard goes on to say, on the Monday episode of Hot Ones, the singer, actress, and web series host brought the heat by sharing a kiss on camera. Evans previously said he had a crush on Palmer. The exchange came right at the end of the interview, though, when Keke says, I saw an interview where you said, like, I was your favorite guest and all this really sweet stuff. Let's watch the clip.
There's one more thing I'd like to say, Sean, because I saw an interview where you said, like, I was your favorite guest, you know, and all this really sweet stuff. And I know we've just had some wings, but I thought that maybe we could just have a quick smooch to see if there's a spark.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
The spark is sparking.
So like I said, Keke had previously been on Hot Ones, and I guess after her first two appearances in 2017 and 2021, on 2023's episode of the Chicken Shop Date with Amelia de Moldenberg, that is when Sean revealed he had a crush on Keke. So I don't know. Like, do you think Keke is just doing this, like, for a promo, or, like, this is just, like, I don't know. Do you think she's, like, testing the water? She's like, I kind of want to, like, kiss this man, and this is going to be good for views. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll just have to see. But it's kind of cute. It's kind of cute, huh? It's kind of cute. The look on his face afterward, I mean, or even, like, before, like, come on. I think this man might, like, actually, like, crush. He's literally in love with her. Like, straight up. Okay, next up on the docket, we're going to be talking about Dame Dash. So his crazy ass, he has filed for bankruptcy. So according to this People magazine online article by Rachel DeSantis, the Rockefeller Records co-founder said his monthly income is now $0. So he filed for bankruptcy, alleging in court documents that he's more than $25 million in debt and has just over $4,000 to his name. So if you're feeling bad about yourself, just remember that the co-founder of Rockefeller Records with Jay-Z is worth nothing. Less than $5,000. So he says, anyway. You know, he's got connections, so he could probably still get things and do things or whatever, but so he says. At least we don't have to file bankruptcy and potentially have the federal government coming after us for like $25 million in debt. Like, what? Okay, so let's go on with this. So the music executive and entrepreneur, 54, filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in Florida on Thursday, September 4th, listing his total liabilities at $25.3 million. Dash, who co-founded Rockefeller Records with Jay-Z and Kareem Burke in 1994, listed his monthly income as $0 and said he does not own a house, car, or any electronics save for his $500 cell phone. He said that his personal assets, including his phone, 2 guns, clothes, and $100 in cash, are worth $4,350. The documents say Dash's domestic support obligations are more than $647,000, and he owes the government $19.1 million in taxes and other debts. Dash owes hundreds of thousands to his ex-wife, Rachel Roy, with whom he shares daughters Ava, who's on NextGenNYC. So I'm very interested to see how this works out. This is giving that one episode of like Hey Arnold where like there's that rich girl, I forget her name, the rich girl in the school district at like PC whatever they or PS whatever they go to, and she loses all her money and then she has to get creative. They like move into like Arnold's like apartment building and she has to get creative and she wears like a shower curtain to school one day or something. This is gonna be Ava on NextGenNYC. She's gonna be like broke as hell. Oh my god, it's not funny, but it is kind of funny because she, you know, she's not making enough money doing what the fuck she's doing. The only reason she's booking jobs is because of the connection she has. And like, this is not gonna look good. The industry don't like you to be broke. Especially not filing Chapter 7 bankruptcy and saying all you got to your name is your phone and a couple guns and some cash.
What is this, honey?
Anyway, Ava, 25, and Tallulah, 17, as well as Cindy Morales, the mother of his son, Lucky, 21, and Linda Williams, mom to his son, Boogie, 33. Dash said he is owed a possible but unknown amount from Burke, with whom he co-founded Rockefeller. Well, they're not paying up. The day after he filed for bankruptcy, Dash posted a screenshot of a news headline about his filing to Instagram with the caption, "Now let's get to work. Hashtag stay tuned." You need to get to work. Now let's. Who is this now let's? Shit, now let's? Now you. Now you, sir. Don't fucking drag me in this. Excuse me. On the day he filed, he shared a video to Instagram talking about his health struggles while spending time with his 4-year-old son, Dusko, whom he shares with fiancée Raquel Horn. Poor woman. "I just want to thank everyone that checked in on me," he said, noting he'd recently undergone successful eye and teeth surgeries. What is this man, on government health care? How is he affording eye and teeth surgeries? Dash previously opened up about his money struggles in Instagram videos shared in August 2024, in which he said he was curious to see how it all rolls out. "Somebody asked me how I got so broke. Investing in my dreams. When you're investing in your dreams and you dream big, you're always going to be broke." In November 2024, the New York State government purchased Dash's 1/3 share in Rockefeller at auction for $1 million in an attempt to recoup for nearly $9 million he owes in back taxes, the New York Post reported. The outlet reported that Dash was previously listed as the 27th most taxed... Yeah. The 27th most tax delinquent New York State resident.
Game over.
Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up, Dame Dash. You got to be put away because that's fucked up. I think he needs water now. Hold on. I just honestly think it's crazy. Like, how do you get here? How do you get here, Dame Dash? What have you done? What have you done to get here financially? You co-founded Rockefeller with Jay-Z. Jay-Z's out here proposing casinos to be built to undoubtedly destroy New York. Thank God it got fucking rejected. But how is he able to do that and you can't do anything? What? And now he's trying to, like, sue Cameron for something that happened, like, years ago or something? Like, come on, man. Like, I can't deal with this shit. I mean, man up. Get your shit together. Dame Dash is a fucking embarrassment. I mean, he's honestly so embarrassing. Like, he's just sitting down doing any interview he can, giving, like, dirt on anybody. And I know he's, like, kind of out there talking shit about Jay-Z. And while I respect the, wanting to run his name through the mud on any given day of the week, you're not doing it because, like, you genuinely want to run his name through the mud. You're just doing whatever you can with whatever information you have so you can make some kind of money because you're so fucking broke. So I think Dame Dash is fucking lame as hell. So that's all I got to say about that. All right, my little Bumbabees. Next up on the docket, we're going to be talking about Jim Kim. That's right, Jimmy Kimmel's suspension at ABC, Disney, whatever you want to call it. It was pulled from the air this past week after the FCC, abbreviation for Federal Communications Commission, the chair of that, Brendan Carr, got pissed off at Jimmy Kimmel's comments about the Charlie Kirk assassination. Now, there have been several people online or just like in general or like whoever that have said like very inappropriate things that you should not be saying about anybody getting shot or whatever for saying words. We talked about this. We're not going back over it. But Jimmy Kimmel didn't say anything bad. Like, Jimmy Kimmel only criticized Trump's reaction to the Charlie Kirk assassination. That is the only thing he criticized. He's like, look at what Trump did. Like, he's like, oh, basically, whatever. Roll the clip.
The second largest city in our bitterly divided nation, where, like the rest of the country, we're still trying to wrap our heads around the senseless murder of the popular podcaster and conservative activist Charlie Kirk yesterday, whose death has amplified our anger, our differences. And I've seen a lot of extraordinarily vile responses to this from both sides of the political spectrum. Some people are cheering this, which is something I won't ever understand. And we had another school shooting yesterday in Colorado, the 100th one of the year. And with all these terrible things happening, you would think that our president will at least make an attempt to bring us together, but he didn't. President Obama did. President Biden did. Presidents Bush and Clinton did. President Trump did not. Instead, he blamed Democrats for their rhetoric. The man who told a crowd of supporters that maybe the Second Amendment people should do something about Hillary Clinton. The man who said he wouldn't mind if someone shot through the fake news media. The man who unleashed a mob on the Capitol and said Liz Cheney should face 9 barrels shooting at her for supporting his opponent blames the radical left for their rhetoric. And then the man who on 9/11, 2001, bragged that his building was now the tallest building in New York, which wasn't even true, by the way, visited the Pentagon for a 9/11 memorial, which, believe it or not, he made a bigly improvement over last year when he showed up at a 9/11 remembrance at a fire station in Lower Manhattan with a 9/11 conspiracy theorist who claims it was an inside job. This year, he brought his wife, which was better for sure. And I have to say, I don't know what's going on, but those two lovebirds, they seem to be closer than ever. I mean, if you see during the ceremony, in a tender moment, Donald reaches over and gives her a little tap. He taps her like he's hoping ketchup would come out. And she didn't really respond. Maybe that's their signal for my diaper is full. I don't know.
So I don't really agree with this whole thing of, suspending Jimmy Kimmel or anything like that. Jimmy Kimmel was seen on camera leaving the studio after it was suspended. He was seen on camera going to his lawyer's office either later on that day or the next day or something like that. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think Jimmy Kimmel would be right and well within his right to sue ABC for this, because this is some crazy shit. We can't make jokes anymore. This is crazy. I don't know what the hell is going on. This is fucking wild shit. I'm going to be taken down soon before long. TikTok's already trying to ban me. They've already tried to ban me because they put 2 strikes on my account for videos of me literally reporting about news events going on right now.
That's life.
Whatever. So I digress. But yeah, so you saw the clip. Jimmy Kimmel didn't even say anything bad. I don't understand why we're silencing late night hosts. I think late night hosts are pretty much the last piece of light-hearted humor we have about the world before we go to sleep the next day. I think a lot of people rely on late night hosts to kind of help them feel better about the world around them, what's going on, to almost get a news recap in a way that they don't feel like they're getting beat over the head with the worst things possible that they've ever heard occur in their lives. So I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right at all. But, this goes hand in hand with the Paramount CBS thing with, Stephen Colbert. There's another merger going on with, Nexstar right now. So there's another merger that they're trying to do with the broadcast stations for, ABC's parent company, Disney, and everything like that. And if they don't like what you're talking about, and whoever their donors are or they donate to, if they don't like what they're talking about or they're getting pressure from one side that they align with, then this is what's going to start happening. People are going to start getting censored. And it's scary. It's a scary time because we're all watching it unfold right before our eyes, that we are being silenced over minuscule things that ultimately don't have an effect on anyone's day-to-day life, no matter what. And I've seen a lot of people make the point on the left and the right that if Charlie Kirk were still alive, that he would not be happy over ABC's decision to suspend Jimmy Kimmel. And even people from Charlie Kirk's own camp have expressed that they didn't think that South Park's team should have pulled any episodes depicting Charlie Kirk as well, because Charlie wouldn't have wanted that. So seems like Charlie would have been okay with everyone speaking their mind. So I don't know what the problem is with Jimmy Kimmel speaking his mind. Charlie would have been like, that's fine. Sit down. Here's a microphone. So I don't know. I think it was just the criticism of Trump that really got it done, because it really, honestly, Jimmy Kimmel should be kind of proud in a sense, because it got Trump so mad like that this happened. Like, it pissed him off so bad that this happened, because it was like the smallest little thing, but it really, gave light to how little Trump gives a fuck about anybody but himself. We saw a video of him recently on a plane or whatever, saying to some people that were on the plane, like, have a safe flight. I wouldn't care if you had a safe flight if I weren't on it. What?
Psycho killer.
Okay. Why say? And then there was that like video clip of somebody asking like how he's been doing. Like, it was like the day after the Charlie Kirk assassination. Someone was like, oh, how have you been doing since the assassination? He's like, oh, it's been great over here. We got the new construction going over here. And
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
not what he asked. Not even close. Couldn't have been even misunderstood to be asking about your fucking weirdo concrete renovations as you hide up, cover the Epstein files, you fucking weirdo. So I don't know. This is some freaky deaky shit. So, I digress and we move forward. And that's all we will say, because I've never thought ill of President Trump, and I think he's an excellent, wonderful man, and these are just jokes I make, and it's just satire, and I will do anything he says in this administration. I will not criticize. All right, next up on the docket here, we're going to be talking about something really interesting. So this actually is funny because I wanted to do it this way. So this is a little fuck you, Disney. So there was a man, full scuba gear, that robbed a Disney Springs restaurant. Okay, so according to this WFTV9 local Florida news network channel article by Nick Papantanis, states that investigators are searching for a man who robbed a popular Disney Springs restaurant after it closed to guests. Sources familiar with the investigation said they believe the man swam up to the Paddlefish restaurant shortly after midnight on Monday, stole thousands of dollars, then swam away. A report by Orange County deputies indicated the man found a place to store his wetsuit and scuba gear before walking into the manager's office, where cash from the night was being counted and deposited into a safe. The report shows the man forced two employees to go to the corner of the room and told them to close their eyes. The report is heavily redacted, but sources familiar with the investigation said he tied the employees up. The man stole between $10,000 and $20,000 per the pending charge. The employees said he left within 2 minutes, and they called 911 after freeing themselves. Neither of the employees were hurt, and the man did not brandish any weapons, the report said. After leaving the replica steamboat, investigators believe the man donned his scuba gear and jumped back into the pond. A search for the man immediately after the robbery was reportedly yielding no results. A picture released by the agency showed the man appearing to spray paint a security camera. The employees described the man wearing tight clothing and a blue beanie. They said he was slim and approximately 5 feet and 10 inches. The owners of the Paddlefish referred all questions to the sheriff's office, and the sheriff's office said the investigation was ongoing. The restaurant opened as normal to guests at noon the Monday after. There was no obvious signs of an increase in security around the Paddlefish, though the tourist attraction is normally under extremely tight security by Disney staff and sheriff's deputies. Not so much, I guess, much of which is not visible to the public. So this sounds like an inside job. Like, how do you fucking know when to do it? He's like, I know when they're counting the cash. I know when they're in the safe. They need to be looking at past employees, disgruntled employees, but also, do they? I'm just saying, this might be the perfect crime. I mean, if they have no suspects, they don't know who it was, they don't have the person's face on camera. Like, this honestly is kind of cool. Scuba heists. I wonder if this is going to start becoming the new thing. Like, could you imagine, like, some dude just like robs your restaurant and then like jumps into the sea in full scoop. This is some crazy shit. I mean, people are getting creative. I mean, good for him. Whatever. I mean, the employees weren't hurt. They're fine. All right. Next up on the docket, we're going to be talking about Jordan Peele's next horror film. So I don't know if you guys have heard about this yet, but Jordan Peele, the director of Get Out, Us, Nope, all those movies. He's been trying to get this fourth film of his that he's directed put out for quite some time now. So it's a Universal Pictures film, and it was originally set for release in, I think, 2024, Christmas of 2024, per this article from Variety. And it just keeps getting pushed back. So this article here says that obviously this project is being pulled from its release calendar. It was originally pushed into October of 2026, and now they're saying they don't know when it's even going to come out. So, I mean, I hope it comes out. So, it's currently at work, and they have yet to roll cameras, so nothing's even really begun with it. It's allegedly a follow-up to his hit movie, Nope, but we don't know if it's like a follow-up in the sense of storyline, more so as like a follow-up of like his next film. Doesn't specify. So, after the Writers Guild and all those strikes and everything, it got pushed back, and it was pushed to the next Halloween, and then it got pushed to the shelf. So Universal is not saying anything. Reps for Peele are not commenting. As per usual with Jordan Peele's directorial efforts per this article, nothing is known about the movie's plot, though it's been categorized as a horror thriller. But speaking on the Conan O'Brien's Needs for a Friend podcast in 2024, Peele said, "I do feel like my next project is clear to me, and I'm psyched that I have another film, could be my favorite movie if I make it right." So people are talking about this online as well. That new movie that just came out, Him, with Tyreek Withers and Marlon Wayans, that people are giving critical acclaim to Marlon Wayans for this dramatic role. They're kind of like using Jordan Peele's name for this movie to draw people in, because people are actually saying it's a really bad movie. But I want to watch it before I judge, though, because you can't listen to the critics. You really can't. Usually when people talk shit about something in mass, I'm like, let me watch this, and it ends up being great. Or people love something in mass, it ends up being shit to me. So I'll probably end up really liking it. Who knows? I love Marlon Wayans, and he fucking likes it. So that's all I got to say about that. If he gives it the seal of approval, I will give it the seal of approval. He actually posted something on Instagram the other day. It was a screenshot from the Rotten Tomatoes website, and it was saying that not Scary Movie. It was saying White Chicks was listed at like a 14% on Rotten Tomatoes. I was like,
I'm gonna have a BF. Oh my God, she's gonna have a bitch fit. Oh.
I commented on it and I said, this should honestly be punishable by law. Like, how the fuck does White Chicks have such a low rating on Rotten Tomatoes? Like, this is honestly a fucking travesty. Justice for White Chicks. Justice. Okay, next up on the docket, we're going to be talking about Martin Scorsese. He has recently been in talks with Apple Original Films to have this ghost story novel called What Happens at Night adapted into a film starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence. So I'm pumped because I know, Martin Scorsese does, he's done dramas and things like that, and maybe some things are a little thrilling, but you know what, honestly, I'll tell you right now, I think Martin Scorsese's whole perspective of how he looks at directing now and what kind of films he wants to make now have a different perspective, because he actually said in some article maybe a year or two ago or something like that, he watched this horror movie called I Saw the TV Glow. That's the name of the movie. So Martin Scorsese saw this film, I Saw the TV Glow, and it's a critically acclaimed horror film. I've actually never seen it. I need to sit down and watch it. It's on one of my lists somewhere. But Martin Scorsese saw this horror film, and he said that it changed his life. He's like, this was one of the greatest films I've ever seen. And he just talked about it up and down. And honestly, he was probably you know what? Horror? untapped territory. Why aren't more people making horror movies? That's what I would like to believe anyway. I don't know. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say I saw the TV glow inspired Martin Scorsese to go into horror. Is my friggin'... Oh, The Sopranos lights are on. I was like, are they off again? Anyway, so I'm going to briefly go over this article by Variety because I want to keep this episode short for you guys. We're almost there, guys. Yay. So I can't believe I did it that quick. I hope it's good. I don't know. I'm like, was it funny? That's how I feel right now. So Martin Scorsese, according to this Variety article by Angelique Jackson, is set for his next directorial job. Like I said, an adaptation of the ghost story novel, What Happens at Night. Apple Original Films is in talks to finance and produce the movie with Studio Canal. Studio Canal acquired the rights to Peter Cameron's acclaimed novel in 2023, with Scorsese on board to produce, and Patrick Marber, Oscar nominee for Notes on a Scandal, adapting the screenplay. Adding Oscar winners DiCaprio and Lawrence only praises the project's blue chip degree. Cameron's story follows an American couple who travel to a strange, snowy European city to adopt a baby. It's a difficult journey that leaves the wife, who is struggling with cancer, desperately weak, and her husband worries that her illness will prevent the orphanage from releasing their child. A synopsis for the book explains. On arrival, the couple checks into the cavernous and eerily deserted
The power of Christ compels you!
Borghoff.
The power of Christ compels you! The power of Christ compels you!
Assisla? Listen, I'll throw it up on the screen because, what? I don't know. Grand Imperial Hotel, where the bar is always open and the lobby populated with an enigmatic cast of characters ranging from an ancient, flamboyant chanteuse to a debauched businessman to an enigmatic faith healer. Can you say enigmatic? Enigmatic. One more fucking time in this description? Like, god damn it, pick another fucking adjective. Shit, ever heard of a thesaurus? Nothing is as it seems in this baffling frozen world, and the more the couple struggles to claim their baby, the less they seem to know about their marriage, themselves, and life itself. So while Scorsese and DiCaprio have enjoyed a legendary run as collaborators, per this article, making 6 feature films over 2 decades, What Happens at Night will mark Scorsese's first time directing Lawrence. However, the storied filmmaker produced Lawrence's upcoming film Die, My Love, the Lynn Ramsey-directed movie for which Lawrence's performance is garnering Oscar buzz, debuted at Cannes and will be released in theaters this fall. DiCaprio, who's earning rave reviews of his own for Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another, and Lawrence previously co-starred in the 2021 apocalyptic dramedy Don't Look Up from Adam McKay. So keep an eye out for that. I mean, Scorsese, Marty, he was supposed to do an H.H. Holmes, like, serial killer origin story or something like that. Like, in Leonardo DiCaprio was supposed to be H.H. Holmes. So I'm still waiting on that. I want my Leo as H.H. Holmes. I think that would be fucking good. Leo can play crazy guy. He did it really well in Django. So, I mean, I think he could really do it. I think he could really kill it. Could you imagine, like, a little bit of Django, a little bit of The Revenant, and a little bit of Shutter Island? Yeah. Or H.H. Holmes? Oh, yeah, baby. Come on. Give it to me, Marty. Give it to me. Okay, my little Bumbabees. Next up on the docket is our last topic of the episode. Are you excited? Because I'm finishing up in under an hour and 10 minutes. I'm doing this. We're pushing. So this is a pretty crazy unfolding story that's going on right now. I don't know if anybody's really keeping up with it. I printed out an article from the LA Times and made the mistake of not skimming over it before I printed it out. It was actually an article that I got for free before they tried to solicit me to buy a membership. Fuck off! And I will say, what the fuck to the LA Times. And I hate to say thank you, TMZ, because TMZ is the only one reporting like up-to-date information about this ongoing investigation. Actually, TMZ is responsible for helping to get the body identified of this 15-year-old that was found butchered in the trunk of a Tesla. So 15-year-old Celeste Rivas, her body was found in the trunk of a Tesla that belongs to this singer, David, D4VD, like the number 4. That's how he spells it, in the trunk of his Tesla that was impounded, but the Tesla was not reported stolen. So this is kind of everything that we know up until this point. So I'll briefly go over this LA Times article that's fucking bullshit, but it's just kind of getting the facts out there to kind of like line it up. But then I'll go over the TMZ headlines that I found that actually give you more information than LA Times is going to give us. So authorities identified a 15-year-old in the trunk of this Tesla that had been dismembered as Celeste Rivas, who is an Inland Empire resident, reported missing in 2024. Many things remain unclear, including why the Tesla was found on the street and impounded and how the girl came to be inside. The cause of death has not been yet released, but her death is considered a homicide. Obviously, LA Times, she was found chopped into pieces. Okay? We don't need to be PC over the facts here, okay? People don't just end up in a trunk chopped up into pieces and it's not a homicide. We don't have to say like, oh, it was allegedly a homicide. We believe it to be a homicide. It was a fucking homicide. Okay? We know that. We don't need you to be fucking, oh, you don't want to get sued. Is that why you're trying to charge me for a fucking subscription? You're broke because you're getting sued? Jesus Christ. So this article says it's unclear what connection, if any, the singer had to the girl. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? We'll get into it in the TMZ articles, but there were videos found of this singer and this girl on webcam stream on like Discord or Twitch or whatever it was together. And his fans were watching them on stream. He had moderators that knew who she was. All this crazy shit going on, okay? So before the LA Times article keeps pissing me off, let's just go right into TMZ's articles. So this is the first article. David decomposed body in Tesla identified. So we've identified the body in the trunk was Celeste Rivas, okay? So obviously I've already stated that they found body parts in the trunk and the car was reportedly not reported stolen. So this Tesla just got impounded, and the reason that they called the police is because there was a smell coming from the car after it was impounded into this fucking lot. So this next article says singer David new video with homicide victim Celeste Rivas. A new video has surfaced showing singer David and Celeste Rivas, where you see David and Celeste together on a live stream answering questions from fans. You hear Celeste telling David to respond to a comment. The video was shot in January of 2024. As TMZ reported, LAPD's Robbery and Homicide Division confirmed Celeste's body was found last week in the trunk of David's Tesla. Cops served a search warrant late Wednesday on the house David was staying at in the Hollywood Hills and removed a computer along with several bags of evidence. TMZ has found a number of links between David and Celeste. Last week, we received a tip the victim might be Celeste. We contacted her mother, who said her daughter had a boyfriend named David, and Celeste had a sh tattoo on her right index finger. We contacted homicide detectives and passed the information along, and days later, the body was ID'd as Celeste. So TMZ is identifying bodies faster than the LAPD. Are we surprised? I mean, no. We also turned up this photo of David in Lake Elsinore, around 70 miles from downtown LA, and just a 6-minute walk to Celeste's family house. Police have not named a suspect in Celeste's death, although to get a warrant, the LAPD had to convince a judge there was a probable cause to believe a crime was committed. This post previously included an image appearing to show David and Celeste together, but we have since been told the image was AI generated. But the video wasn't. That's real. She was there. She was with this man. This next article from TMZ. David Discord moderator claims they didn't know Celeste was underage and missing. Someone who says they moderate David's Discord server and Twitch channel is trying to clear up what they knew and didn't know about Celeste Rivas, the missing teenager whose body was found inside the trunk of David's Tesla. So the Discord admin fired off a message to David's Discord server and said that they weren't aware of Celeste's true age or that she was a missing person. TMZ goes on to say, for the record, Celeste's 15th birthday was the day before she was found dead in David's car, and in April 2024, she was reported missing. The admin says based on what was shared in David's Twitch streams and from Celeste's role in the Discord server, they believed Celeste to be around 18 or 19 years old. Celeste, the moderator claims, appeared in 2 streams, and we've shown you video from one of them. It's unclear who the admin is and what their current relationship is with David. But the statement says the moderators had minimal contact with David or his management. Although the message posted on Discord claimed to be written on behalf of Discord and Twitch, a rep for Twitch tells us the moderator is not employed by them and the statement was not made on their behalf. We've reached out to Discord. So far, no word back. Next TMZ article, singer David has tattoo matching body of girl found in his Tesla. Singer David has a tattoo on his finger with the letters shh. And the young girl's body found in his Tesla had the same tattoo on her finger. So apparently she had this tattoo on her right index finger, and it's also on his right index finger. Okay? TMZ spoke with Celeste's mom last week, and she told them that her daughter's tattoo had it written in red ink. The mom said Celeste had been missing for more than a year, but she was suspicious of the Tesla discovery because she said Celeste's boyfriend was named David. Wow. As for David, we looked back at photos in April through the beginning of August 2024, and he did not have that tattoo. The first photo where you see the tattoo on David is from September 2024. David has been on tour for a while and has not been in Los Angeles for more than a month, blah, 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 whatever. Next article talks about how David gets all of his musical promos yanked amid this homicide investigation. So David's music label, Interscope, is pumping the brakes on his upcoming deluxe album and all musical promotion for him in the wake of the LAPD investigation. Interscope's parent company, Sony Music Publishing, and Wasserman have paused all promotional activities related to David out of respect for the seriousness of the situation and the ongoing investigation. David's last post on Instagram promotes the deluxe version of his album, Withered, which drops in April. It's due out Friday. Fans have pointed out the post shared on September 7th is also the date of birth of the 15-year-old Celeste Rivas, who was found dead in his trunk. Police are currently deep into the investigation, and TMZ learned authorities searched the LA home the romantic homicide singer was residing in on Wednesday, looking for traces of blood and other evidence. As we reported, the Tesla has been parked near the house. David has not publicly addressed the investigation. That's another thing. He's got a song where he's like talking about like how he's going to get away with it and like romantic homicide. Listen, it gets worse. It gets worse. There's another TMZ article after this titled David Removes Bloody Shirt Merch from Website Amid Death Investigation. David has removed the bloody shirt merchandise from his website as police continue to investigate the death of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas. You can see the singer was selling white button-down shirts splattered with fake blood for $35 on his official site until sometime in the last 48 hours when the apparel was removed. The decision to pull the merch came around the same time his team axed the remaining leg of his U.S. tour, which consisted of 2 dates in California. TMZ also learned Thursday his music label was putting a hold on the deluxe version of his Withered album that was scheduled to drop Friday, like I said. And then right after that, everything else got pulled. So his Europe tour got canceled, the UK tour, everything U.S. tour, all that merch got taken down from his website. So obviously his team, I just gave myself a paper cut. So obviously his team is doing everything they possibly can to scrub anything to do or make him look guilty of this from his, I see that 555, thank you, universe, I claim it, from his attachment to this story. Like, this is pretty fucking crazy. And you know what's even crazier? You know, TMZ is shit. TMZ is a shit news publication. They exploit people. They pay airlines for flight logs so they can know who's on a plane, so they know when to harass certain people and when they're getting off and where they're getting off, so they can meet you there and harass you about something fucking horrible going on in your life. TMZ got sued into the ground over presenting the Kobe Bryant death to the media and the footage of that before Vanessa Bryant even fucking knew. So they are not a good media outlet. Like I said before, if I don't have to use like Page 6 or, you know, TMZ or the New York Post, if I don't have to, I'm not going to. But TMZ, honestly, is reporting on this more than other major news outlets, and they're providing more information about the investigation that's ongoing than, I'll tell you, anybody else is. They're literally helping to identify the body. That's crazy. You know, that's wild. I don't know if they're trying to like make up for like lost time of like, you know, just being assholes or what. Probably not. They're just like, you know, they want to be the first to, you know, report about this shit. That's what it's all about. But I think this is a disgusting thing. Like this kid David's like 20 or 21 or something like that. And apparently like the people online are saying that allegedly he's known this Celeste girl since she was like 13. So he's like been grooming her. And then like the comment section is like, you know, horrible in and of itself. Like people are posting their theories. They're like, oh, I bet she was pregnant. And he fucking, you know, I'm like, oh my God, you know, can we just wait for all of those reports? But it is weird. Like, how many Teslas could this kid how many cars could this kid possibly own? How did your Tesla just wind up in impoundment in a fucking tow yard? You don't know about it, and it was never reported missing. Sounds pretty suspicious to me. And every media outlet I've seen like report on this or whatever, especially that LA Times article, like made it abundantly clear throughout the article, like, we want to make it known that David is doing everything he possibly can to fully cooperate with authorities. I don't give a fuck what he's doing. This kid literally is playing in everyone's face. Innocent until proven guilty. He's selling bloody merch shirts. He's writing albums called Romantic Homicide that have lyrics talking about how he's going to fucking kill or get away with killing a woman he's connected to romantically. A child in this case. And apparently he's done this before. There's another girl that went missing that was associated with him. And I didn't even get into that because there was just so much to cover with this story. So it is what it is. But this is fucking nuts. And it's nuts that TMZ has to do the digging and identify bodies. And what are you doing over there, LAPD? What are you fucking doing? And I don't like the fact that they're just like, yeah, well, no, he's cooperating. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Like, maybe they're trying to play it coy and cool for, you know, the purpose of, you know, him not running because they want to make sure that they have absolutely everything they can on him or everything that they need to make sure that he can't get fucking bond because it is so bad that, like, he probably will run and undoubtedly do this shit again. If he did, allegedly. And I think he did.
Guess what, motherfucker?
You don't do all these things as an innocent person. Like, I'll tell you right now. I'm not titling my theme songs for my Hollywood true crimes like Romantic Homicide for like my Phil Hartman episode. Like, are you fucking insane? Like, that's even insane to say, let alone actually do. People like him are like true textbook narcissists that do shit like this in plain sight, hide in plain sight, and laugh about the fact that they get away with it because nobody's saying anything, nobody's picking up on it, and that's how it goes. Nobody knows what the fuck is happening in front of them, right in front of their fucking eyes, day to day. Sad. Well, that's a wrap on this 44th episode of the Bumba.cast Pop Culture News. I hope you had as much fun as I did keeping you as updated and as pop cultured as I physically can. You know I do it all for you and the love and support you keep on giving me. I'm so loved. You really love me.
You love me. You really love me.
I'm so grateful. Keep on spreading the good word and don't forget to turn on your automatic downloads. And if you're not following me on social media, what's your damage? That's at Bumba.cast for Instagram, Threads, and TikTok while I still have it, along with right here if you're watching on YouTube at the Bumba.cast pod. So, until next time, I'll see you soon, my little Bumbabees.